Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everybody, this is your teacher Ahlam Abu Juda. I hope that you're doing great. I hope that you're enjoying your time with your families right now. Today inshallah we are going to start Unit 12, The Body Beautiful. Now we will identify the new vocabulary, read and extract the new information from the text which is about your brain, and then answer the comprehension questions. First, if you look at the title of the unit, The Body Beautiful, what does this phrase mean to you? When we can use this phrase, the body beautiful? Yes, it's right. We use it to talk about someone who is physically attractive. We use it to talk about the physically beauty. So if you look at this picture, what can you see in this picture? Yes, right, it is an X-ray image. And this is an image for someone who is doing an exercise or an activity which is skating. Look at his foot. Look at his feet. He's skating. Now look at his movements. Look at his motion. So this is an X-ray image that shows how the human bones look in motion, how the human body works. So now let's go to the new vocabulary in the word focus. We have 4 new words. So let's start with the first one. Universe, universe, universe. This word is a noun, which means everything that exists, all physical matter, including all the stars and planets in space. We use it to talk about everything that is important. So look at this example. His family in his whole universe. His family is his whole universe. So he means that his family is his whole world. They are everything to him. So this is your universe, this is your world. Everything important for you. Everything you can include in this word or in this universe or in this space. So this is an image for the universe and the world. Now let's go to the next one. Rational, rational, rational. This word is an adjective which means sensible and practical. And we have the opposite of the word, which is irrational. Look at this example. Please make a rational decision and leave your feelings out of this. Please make a rational decision and make your feelings out of this, which means that you have to make your decisions based on reasons and don't listen to your feelings in your decisions. Look at this girl, she's making a decision. She's rational. She's trying to focus a lot. She's trying to based on reasons. Now let's go to the next one. Neuron, neuron, neuron. This word is also a noun. Neuron is a noun. What is neuron? Neuron is a cell which is part of the nervous system. It is the nerve cell that delivers and receives messages to and from the brain. So the function of the neuron, it can receive or send messages to and from the brain. For example, without neurons, our brains would not function. Without neurons, our brains would not function. Now, let's open our box page 148 and 149. Let's go to exercise A. Are you ready? Let's do exercise A together. Let's read the instruction. How much do you know about the human body? Do the quiz and find out. Your teacher will give you the correct answers. So here we have 4 questions about the human body. This is a quiz for you. We have 4 options in each question. First, I want you to read each question by yourself individually and try to choose the best answer. After you have finished answering the questions, you can check your answers online. You can Google them and try to find the answers on Google. Now you can pause the video. I'm gonna give you time to answer these questions. Okay. Now let's answer and check them together. Number 1. Which is the largest organ in the human body? Which is the largest organ in the human body? Is it the heart? Is it the lungs? Is it the brain? Is it the skin? Exactly. The answer is D. It is the skin, the organ that covered every part of the body. Okay, now let's go to the second question. How many bones are there in the adult human body? How many bones? So what do you think? Is it 206? Is it 265, 76, or is it 106 or 186? The answer is A, 206. 206. 3. What is the total length of all the blood vessels in a child's body? What is the total length of the blood vessels in the child's body? The blood vessels or the tube that carries the blood through the organs like vein, artery. So what is the answer? Is it about 23,000 kilometers, or B about 97,000 kilometers, C about 36,000 kilometers, or about 65,000 kilometers? Yes, the answer is B. The answer is B. So here we said the answer is A. Here the answer is B. And let's go to the last one. How much does the adult human brain weigh on average? How does the adult human brain weigh on average? Is it 1 kilogram? Is it 2 kilogram? 1.3 kilogram or 2.3 kilogram? The answer is C, 1.3 kilogram. Let's check our answers. So all of them are correct. Now let's move to the next one. Now let's go to exercise B. Can you read and understand the short text below? Here in this text, look at the text. Is it a usual text? Is there anything unusual in the text? Yes, we have some words that have disordered letters. Now let's try look at the text. Is it comprehensible? Is it understandable? Can you read it with these disordered letters? Let's try to read it together. Okay? It doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be in the right place. The rest can be a total mess, and you can still read it without any problem. That is because the human brain does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole. Amazing. So here we can read the text, so it is comprehensible, it is understandable. So do you know why we can read the text easily? If you look at this text, the comprehensible text, you can find that, look at the first word, which is doesn't and matter. Here we have some disordered letters, but we read it correctly because the first and the last letter are correct. The first and the last letters are correct. So here we can read the words correctly. Here you can try to practice reading this text at home at any time you want, and try to write this text in your notebook correctly, and try to order the letters. Now let's go to exercise C. Quickly read the article about the human brain. What advice is suggested for students who are unable to do this homework? Now, if we look at this passage, this article, it's about your amazing brain. So the title is Your Amazing Brain. Now, before we're going to skim the text to answer this question, let's go to the first picture here. What can you see here? What this? This is an illusion. This is an optical illusion, which is the picture. In this picture, what can you see? Is it a normal? Can you see something which is real? Can you imagine that this boy is larger and bigger than that man? Is that man is smaller than this boy? Can you find this in our reality? In the real world? Absolutely not. But what happened here? In this picture, we called it an optical illusion, that it tricks your eyes and makes you see something that is not really there. So here, because it is just a trick, it's not real. Okay. Now look at this picture. What can you see here? This is the. What can you see here? This is the neuron. This is the neuron. Okay, that sends and receives messages from the brain. Now look at the passage here. First, let's try to count how many paragraphs do we have here. We have one. This is the first paragraph that starts with your brain, and here we have the second paragraph started with trying to make sense of the brain. It's not easy, and this is the third paragraph that started by can this small gray organ with this part. This is the third paragraph, and here we have to go to the fourth paragraph that started with so exactly how fast does your brain work, and then here we have the fifth paragraph that started by but how does your brain allow you to learn things that you will use in the future, and with this part, this is the fifth paragraph, and finally the sixth paragraph that started with how quickly we learn things varies from person to person. So here we have 6 paragraphs. Today, inshallah, we are going to discuss together the first 3 paragraphs. Now, let's start with the first paragraph. Here we have 3 questions. Let's read the questions and try to find out the answers in the paragraph. Oh, sorry. Here we have to go back to answer, before we go to the paragraph, we have to answer this question. First, let's skim the text. Here you have to pause the video, then go to your text and skim it, read it quickly to find this answer. What advice is suggested for students who are unable to do their homework? Quickly, please. Take a few minutes. Okay, now after you finished reading the text, after you skimmed the text, let's answer the question and check your answers. The article suggests that they go and play football and then try to do their homework again. So if you want to advise someone who are unable to do their homework, you have to advise them by doing the activity that they like, but like playing football. Then if they go back and do their homework, they will do it faster. Okay, so this is the advice that you can find it in this text. Where did you find your answer? It's in the last paragraph. Here in the last 3 lines. In the last paragraph. Okay, so the answer is in the last 4 lines in the paragraph. You can go out and play a game of football. Okay, you can go out and play a game of football. So this is the answer. If you want to advise someone who is unable to do his homework or her homework, you can advise her by playing football, then go back to do their homework. They will do it faster. Now, let's start with the first paragraph. This paragraph talks about the function of the brain that controls everything in your body, that the brain can make lots of things for your body. So let's read these questions and find out the answers. What can your brain make? 2. What did a famous scientist once call the brain? 3. What part of speech is the word breathe? Okay, you can pause the video here and answer these questions. You can skim the paragraph, just the first paragraph. Okay, after you've read this paragraph, you're supposed to answer these questions easily. So let's answer them together. What can your brain make? Let's read together. Your brain controls everything you do. It makes it possible for you to, so here the brain makes it possible for you to think, learn, create, and feel emotions. To blink and breathe, and for your heart to beat. So these all the things that your brain can make for your body. So these are the answer. You can find the answer of the first questions in these lines, from the second line up to the 5th line. Now let's go to the second one. What did a famous scientist once call the brain? Let's complete reading. This fantastic control center is your brain. It's so amazing that a famous scientist once called it the most complex thing we have yet discovered in our universe. So this is the answer. A famous scientist once called it the most complex thing we have yet discovered in our universe. The most complex thing we have yet discovered in our universe, in our world, which is the brain, the most complicated thing. So it's not easy. Okay. 3. What part of speech is the word breathe? Look at this word, breathe. This is in the line 4. Breathe. So let's read the sentence. Here, when we say that the brain makes it possible for you to do lots of things, one of these things, to blink and breathe, and for your heart to beat. So this is the work of the brain, to blink and breathe. So this is a verb. So the part of speech here is a verb. So the word breathe is a verb because it followed the word to. It followed the word to blink and breathe. Here we have 2 verbs that followed the word to, which is an infinitive verb. Infinitive verb. Now let's move on to the next paragraph. Let's read these questions. Which organ makes us human and how? 2. What is the brain responsible for? 3. Find 2 synonyms in this paragraph. So you can pause the video here, answer your questions, then go back. Take your time, scan the text quickly. Okay, after you finished reading, so let's check the answers together. So this paragraph is talking about the function of the brain, how the brain works. So let's read the questions and answer them together. The first one, which organ makes us human and how? It's simple questions, right? Which organ, which part of the body makes us human and how? Trying to make sense of the brain isn't easy. Trying to make sense of the brain. Trying to make sense of the brain to understand, which means to understand. So here, make sense of, to understand. The brain is not easy. We know it's the organ that makes us a human. So this is the first part of the answer. The brain, it's the organ that makes us a human. So this pronoun refers to the brain. This text is talking about the function of the brain. So it makes us human. How? By giving us the ability to create art and language, make decisions, and produce rational thoughts. So these are the functions of the brain here to the human body. So the first question, what organ makes us a human? It's the brain. How? Giving us the ability to create art, language, and make decisions, and finally produce rational thought. This is the answer of the first question. What is the brain responsible for? Let's complete. It's also responsible for our personalities, memories, movements, and how we understand the world. So the brain is responsible for many things, for our personalities, memories, movements, and how we understand the world. 3. Find two synonyms in this paragraph. In this short paragraph, we have two synonyms. Can you find them? Okay, right? It is make sense of, and understand, make sense of, understand. These are synonyms. Make sense of the brain, to understand the brain. We understand the word, to make sense of the word. Okay, these are the synonyms in this paragraph. Now let's go to the third paragraph. Here we have 4 questions. The first one, how much does the brain weigh? According to this paragraph. 2. How many cells does the brain contain? How many cells does the brain contain? 3. Does the activity in your brain stop from time to time, or it's workable all the time? 4. Find a word in the text which means deliver. Now take a few minutes, scan this paragraph, and here you can pause the video to answer the questions. Okay, after we have finished and answered all the questions, let's answer them together. How much does the brain weigh? Let's read together. Can this small gray organ, which is the brain, which weighs less than 1.5 kilos. So how much does the brain weigh? Here we have the word weigh and the keyword weigh. So it weighs less than 1.5 kilos. It weighs less than 1.5 kilos. Now let's go to the next one. How many cells does the brain contain? How many cells does the brain contain? So here we're asking about the cells of the brain. Let's go here. Amazingly, your brain contains about 100 billion microscopic cells called neurons. So how many? 100 billion cells. 100 billion cells. Here how many? We're asking about a number. So we have 100 billion cells that called neurons. Let's go to the third question. Does the activity in your brain stop from time to time? Let's continue reading. Whenever you dream, laugh, think, see, or move, it's because signals are racing between these neurons. Believe it or not, the activity in your brain never stops. So here, does it stop from time to time? It's never stop. It is never stop. So it never stops. So the activity in your brain never stops. This is the answer. So the answer is false. No, it doesn't. So the activity in your brain doesn't stop from time to time. It never stops. No, it never stops. 4. Find a word in the text which means deliver. Let's find the word which means deliver. Did you find it before? Yes, the answer is send. The answer is send. Send messages, deliver messages. So send is the meaning of deliver. Now, here we have a task. Dear student, please read the whole article again on pages 148 and 149. Then answer the questions then answer the questions in the worksheet I sent in the WhatsApp group. After you finish answering the questions, please send it on WhatsApp on my message. And then if you have any questions, I'm always here. I'm ready to answer all your questions. And please try to read the word list that I sent on the WhatsApp, and try to look at all the new vocabulary, all the required words that will help you while reading the text, if they were hard to you. And finally, thanks a lot for your listening, and have fun. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.